basically, okay, I'm here today to basically share with you all a little bit of cold calling techniques. And I just want to mention first why I was chosen for this. Basically, when I started real estate with Profil, I was focusing mostly on sub-sales. However, in the recent times, there was much burning interest towards projects, and I have been looking it as my recent interest lah. So having done that, many cold callings, warm calls came into play during my tenure in projects as well. So I believe that's why Terence, Kai, Chin gave me the privilege to actually present this. So what I have built here today is basically entirely based on my experience since I started, and it somehow worked for me. I'm sharing the formula so that it might be applicable. It might be applicable for everybody else lah. So today, cold calling technique, 4th of June, and myself, KeeShend Nair. Okay, so just to bring you all towards a little bit agenda of the day, we will be going through a little agendas, which is pretty straightforward if you ask me. The fundamentals, straight to the point, the script as your Bible, improving your mindset as well, the right method. Something that every one of you all might have known already, but today it can be used as an enhancement lah, for something that might have not been refreshed for some times. Because I believe today in our crowd, we have a lot of new negotiators as well as a lot of senior negotiators. It's an absolute privilege, all the senior negotiators, for me to be sharing this today. But it might be something that you have already come across, but for all the new people, this might be something that you can use as your flow, because it will gain you a particular dynamics so that you understand how real estate cold calling works like lah. So just to take you all a little bit more further, so the fundamentals, guys. Okay, so before I start with number one, if you all have any questions, feel free to put it in the chat box, and we will be tackling at the end of this session lah. Okay, so number one, in terms of the fundamentals, okay, in my opinion, the call is always about the prospect and not ourselves. So the basis of making calls must revolve around providing accurate information about their query or about the service that you provide them. So basically, of course, why I say the call is about the prospect, not about ourselves, is because both sides, projects or sub-sale, we are aiming to achieve a particular objective when we are making the call. So basically, we are trying to touch that objective with the particular prospect. In projects, you are trying to give enough information so that they actually meet you at the show gallery. Pretty straightforward. And in sub-sales, you're trying to get either a rental or a sale from, or picking up a listings from them. So basically, we just need to focus towards that objective, and we can just skip the part of introducing much about ourselves, talking about the market and so forth. When you make a call, it has to be as brief as you can, because you never know what kind of situation that the person picking up the phone is in, and you want to tackle that as soon as possible. So always remember that, focus on the prospect, make sure you deliver what needs to be delivered within a specific period of time, and get the objective achieved. So this is the basis towards saying that the call is about the prospect and not about us, all right? And of course, everyone can relate to this. One call is never sufficient. This can be this can be something very strong towards all our new negotiators, because be prepared to make multiple attempts of phone calls or WhatsApp messages to finally be able to crack the nutshell, if you ask me. Because for people doing sub-sale, you'll be very much experienced with dealing in master lease. And when you do a master lease, of course, it's very natural for you to call hundreds and hundreds of numbers for you to crack down towards one sale. And of course, it's very respectful towards everyone who can actually do that. Same thing as project. In order for you to get somebody towards the show gallery, in order for you to make a proper presentation, of course, it takes multiple attempts, daily follow-ups. So it comes as an effort. So always know that one call is never sufficient. One message is never sufficient. It's about the effort that makes them think that, wow, you're someone very persistent. there might be some value here, and that's what will get your client towards saying that, okay, let's give the person a minute. And that 1 minute is something that will be converted into a sale later. So this is something that people really need to take into account lah. One call is never sufficient. Everybody, please do remember that. Timing is key, guys. Experiment to identify the best times of the day. This to make calls in order to achieve the best desired result. Of course, this is something that comes with trial and error. I will share with you at the end, towards the end of the slides, because there's technically a formula to it on when is the best to call and when it's not. But the point that I'm trying to make with this slide is basically trial and error, because it's about trying, then only you will know the results that you can achieve. So if you don't try first, then you can never know the pattern in order for you to improve further. So in callings, timing is always key. And when I say timing is key, it's about making sure when is the best time to call, when is the best day to call of the week, and so forth. And this information will come to you very shortly. All right. Persistence, persistence, persistence. Of course, if there's no persistency in calling, very difficult, because if everybody is going to resort towards the attitude or method of calling 1 or 2 or even 10 numbers, and then you're going to say like, okay, this is not going to work, it's very difficult, because persistency is what gets us the results. It might be 10, it might be 20, it might be 30. Sometimes it might be even 1, you know, but when you don't hit the 1, that's when you keep the persistency up and we keep going, because there's a lot of leads for us to follow up. There's not only 1 or 2% who's interested in the product that you may have or the service that you may have. So we need to keep going. Always be persistent in calling, and that is most important. Keep trying, because I don't have to repeat this to everyone, but I'm very sure everyone is of the same page as me. Lucrative rewards does not come easy. Everyone who does real estate can relate to that. And I believe persistency would be the solution to this. All right. And I'm exiting the fundamentals point, and I'm moving towards straight to the point element. Okay. So in terms of straight to the point, what I'm trying to elaborate here is always be in charge of the conversation. You lose the battle if prospect takes charge. So in a call is between a communication between two individuals. When you make the call as a real estate agent, you always have to keep charge, because you're the one supposed to be asking more questions, and you're the one supposed to be directing the conversation towards your objective. But when you allow somebody else to take charge, then you lose the battle, because you may not be able to achieve the objective that you're looking at. In terms of projects, your objective might always be towards directing your client towards the show gallery for you to do the closing. Whereas in sub-sales, you might want to be picking up a listing. However, when they take charge with more information and so forth, then you lose the battle. You lose some time in making the call as well. So you always want to take charge in your conversation and make sure you achieve the objective of the call. Although if it's a 2 or 3 minutes call, it's time that you are investing, and you always want that 2 or 3 minutes to be worthwhile. So yes, always take charge and get to the point, which comes to my second point on the slides. Prospects are always looking to end the call within a specific period of time, which, as a matter of fact, I think everybody can relate to. When you make a random call, whether a cold call or a warm call, they're always looking to end the call, but it always depends on the information that you're throwing out. If you manage to hit the bullseye with the information that you're throwing out, in terms of you're giving them a solution, you're giving them information that they need, that is all you need in order to keep them engaged on the phone. So always get to the point. Understand what your clients might be looking for in a phone call, and always give them that, so that you achieve your objective at the end of the phone call, and you don't really lose out on your time. Your time is precious. Time is gold, guys. All right. So going on to the next point, pick up the phone to make calls equipped with sufficient product info. So this is something that I always throw out to my team members, to my colleagues as well. In making a cold call, in making a warm call, of course, how to pick up the phone without having the sufficient information. You need to call with sufficient information so that during the call, relating back to point number one, you can always take charge. Only by having enough information about your product and services, you can take charge of the conversation. When you don't have enough info, then somebody will supersede you in the conversation and you will lose out. So always equip yourself with information, because information is your weapon when you go for a war. So this is something that you want to take into account. And of course, last but not least, do not feed too much info. This is always, this can be directed more towards projects, because in terms of doing projects, you always want to break the surprise at the show gallery. During a phone call, you want to keep it very brief. You want to give them sufficient information to excite them to come to the show gallery. So this is something that you want to note on. Do not feed too much info, feed enough information. All right. So I hope this slide is clear. Please gather your questions if there's any towards the end of the session. And of course, the next part of cold calling, warm calling, in terms of making calls and picking up the phone, is to improve your mindset and vibes. Okay. Elaborating a little bit further on that. In improving your mindset and vibes, of course, you always have to understand the value and product, the value of your product and service, because your product and service is what is on the line when you're making a call. So always try to angle it towards a storytelling angle, in the sense that storytelling is one of the most powerful tool of telemarketing. Telemarketing normally, in general, people think telemarketing can be very long. Sometimes people can even sell product 40 minutes on the phone. But how efficient is that? How effective is that? Always make your call into a storytelling method, because when they hear a story, it's much more exciting and it's much more engaging. So this is something that you're looking at. So describe your product and services always in a brief yet interesting storyline. So in terms of projects, you see, you have people who are doing projects, you have a lot of products in your hand. Currently, we have something like Nadayu as well. So something like that is very interesting in the sense that you can tell a story about the entire township, about Subang 2, what is around that, how did it develop, who was the developer, how did it become the place that it is today. So these are some things that you want to throw out to them, because when it's interesting, you get to engage them on the phone. If it's not interesting, you lose them out on the phone. So you want to keep it as brief but interesting, so that at least later they WhatsApp you in terms of message also. So there's always an engagement there. And of course, lastly, remember you are offering a great product and service. Take pride and do not short sell. What you are offering is a wonderful, brilliant product. So why not hard sell it? You know it has value. You know there are there's a lot of perks that your buyer can get out of. So why not throw it out? Take pride of the product. Of course, best part is if you can show some proof that you even bought the product yourself, it will be your best weapon lah. But in terms of this, always take pride of the product that you are selling, so that you can push it out much more better to them. All right. Okay, so second point, you are the specialist, guys. They need you. So just to keep this very brief, always remember that you are the specialist when you make a call. Why are you making the call? You are making the call because you are the person with the information. You are the specialist of the product, and you are the one who's going to direct them towards the decision of purchasing the product or not. So you are the specialist. The person who is on the other side of the call is waiting for your feedback and information. And they are thinking that, wow, okay, this person is the product specialist. I really need to listen to this person. So they are viewing you as the product service specialist. They need you to provide and feed them with necessary information about their query. And of course, if you can see on my slide, you are at a leverage as you are the information holder. So when you are holding all the information and they are expecting you to pour the information to them, of course, it puts you always at a leverage because you have the privilege of giving out the information that you want to or need to. So always make use of this leverage because the information and angle that you are giving your prospects is what is going to direct them towards the closing. So you want to always give them the right info or the accurate info for you to get them towards the closing or a booking. All right. So this is something that you want to always remember, that you are the specialist. And on top of that, view yourself as the helper. I always mention this because I feel this is a very good weapon in the sense that always view yourself as a solution provider, because your clients come to you because they need a solution, and you are the person who has the solution, so you need to be providing it to them. So always in a situation, you are the person offering help to your prospect who needs help. In terms of project, guys, somebody is looking for a new house. You're the person, you have a few products, so why not be the solution provider? In terms of subsale, somebody is looking to rent out their house. You know the right platform to do it. You have the database to do it. So why not help them out? So here, very clear that you are the solution provider. Always position yourself as a solution provider before you pick up the phone. Because when you pick up the phone, you will understand that, hey, I'm the one giving the solution here. So I can easily take charge because somebody has sent in the query to you, or you're making a query towards someone in the objective that you are going to be the solution provider. Okay, offering help, providing project information, suggestions, opinions that are enough to convince them to engage you as their agent. When you offer them help, when you offer them solution, they want to continuously engage with you because there's value that they are getting in engaging with you. So this is something you want to strongly take note of. When you make a call, understand the value that you're providing and understand how to make your client realize the value. So in doing that, you always need to have a lot of information about the market, about the service that you're providing, about the product you're providing. When you do that, it will be very clear in a phone call. Because always remember, guys, you don't have 10 minutes to speak in a phone call, whether warm call or cold call. You don't have 10 minutes. You at least have maximum about 5 minutes. For you, even 5 minutes is a little bit lengthy for you for yourself even to hang on the phone. 5 minutes might be a little bit long, but within 3 or 4 minutes, if you can give out the sufficient information, that information will add bonus to your call time. In the sense that if you put in interest, they'll be like, okay, I can allocate another 1 minute for this person. When you get more interesting, okay, the client will realize that I can allocate another 3 minutes for this person to understand the value that you're giving. So this is something that you always want to position yourself as. Always position yourself as a solution provider. All right. So moving on to a little dynamics of making the calls itself, guys. This is something that I broke down based on my own experience. I always advise new people, new negotiators who has joined real estate, because some challenges might be that you don't know what to say when you make a call. Some people who joined real estate might be of the opinion that you don't really have to give out much information during a call. You don't really need to know how to make a call and so forth, but it's quite wrong. Because in real estate, the formula is, even in subsales or projects, both sides, if you don't make calls, guys, you'll never be able to see your results. Because if you don't make calls, where are you going to get your leads from? When you don't have leads, you'll never be able to make closing. Leads are not going to fall from the sky, So that's why always prepare yourself to make calls when you are venturing into real estate. So when I say make calls, it's always not wrong, guys. I repeat again, it's not wrong for you to prepare your own script. That's the best way for you to get going in making calls. When you have your own script, you just have to apply your script 10 times. And the 11th call that you make will always be a successful call. Why? Because 1 to 10, you have already elaborated, you have already trial and error, you have already got enough questions from all the other clients for you to imagine that, okay, this is how I have my own flow. So that's why I always structure out a way where when you're about to make call, it's okay for you to write down your own script. Just write it down. When you're making a call, it's okay for you to read also. As long as the people are on the other side of the phone knows what is your intention and what is your objective that you're trying to serve. So always equip yourself with a script. If you're struggling to make calls, guys, it's because you probably don't have a script or you probably don't have enough product info. If you tackle both of these, there shouldn't be any problem in making any calls in terms of subsale or projects. So in warm calls, number one, of course, a very strong introduction. So how I normally do it is when I pick up the phone, I will be very vibrant. I'll be strong in the sense that a very good morning to you, sir. This is KeeShend. I received your query via Facebook regarding our Subang Lakeside residence, and I assume you're actively looking for a property. So I keep it all in one sentence in the sense that they understand what I'm trying to say before they're even able to reply. So just structure your sentence very well so that they know what you're trying to say and they can give you short answers. Because in your call, short answers is what you want. That's all you want. You want to know their intentions and you want to serve that intentions. Immediately move into product info. Be straight to the point as my previous slide earlier. So in terms of warm call, so I'm presenting here a warm call. If anyone is not familiar with a warm call, it's basically more directed towards projects, because a warm call is where somebody has expressed their interest towards the product or service that we have, and we are contacting them to provide them information about the product and service. So in this case, it's much more easier because they have already expressed interest and you're only calling them to furnish more information. So from number two, normally in terms of projects, some people can relate to this. What we normally do is that we a very simple description, moving into product info. We are currently running 2 lakeside projects in Subang at the moment. One is situated in Subang Jaya, whereby the other is situated in Bukit Subang, very near to Subang Heights. So here, for people doing project, you may be able to relate in the sense that I'm trying to push out something specific, to know their intentions. Here, I just want to push out the point of location. So when they understand the point of location, it will be much more easier for me to angle my presentation, because I know which location that they're suitable at, and I can angle my presentation towards that particular product that I have. Because as people doing project, you're not only doing one project, you have different projects in hand, and your clients, you always want to tackle them in knowing that, how can I help you, sir, madam? So if you're suitable in this location, let me be the solution provider for you. So this is something that we're looking at. And of course, ask the right questions and taking charge. If you can see number 3 on my slides, a quick description would be, allow me to quickly check with you on a few things, as this would help me very much in determining which lakeside project would be suitable for you. In terms of projects, it's very important for you to engage your client, ask them the right questions in order for you to decide which angle you can direct them towards. Because you might have certain products that are very much high in value that you may not want to angle them towards, whereby you have different products that are more suitable towards and you want to bring them towards that product. All right. And last but not least, sealing an appointment, which is also the main objective of your 4 to 5 minutes call that you have just made. In sealing an appointment, all you need to do is sell an urgency. Be very specific. So how do you sell an urgency? In a sense that if there's some promotion going on for your projects, give it a deadline. Give it a very clear deadline. And also, whenever you ask a suggestion of suitable timing or date from your client, don't ask them for the date or for the time. Suggest a date or time. So always put in such as, I can give you another 50 reasons why this project is suitable for you. However, it will not be the same as you experiencing it yourself at the show gallery. So, sir, madam, let me fix an exclusive and private appointment for you this Saturday at 2 p.m. So what I'm trying to do here is that I'm telling them that, we can continue this call much more longer, but it's going to be ineffective. So how about just come to the show gallery directly, and this is the time and date that I'm suggesting. From there, they can amend as they want. But the main point is you throw out your suitable timing, your suitable date, which might be more advantageous for you. All right. So moving on a little bit more further, almost the same format of the slide, but we are touching on cold call now. Okay, so a little bit more different dynamics. Warm call, cold call. Warm call, somebody has already expressed their interest. Cold call, somebody is looking, you're calling an absolute random person. Okay, I think everyone who's doing sub-sale can relate very much to this, because you operate based on a master list basis. And in a master list, you actually have a lot of numbers, hundreds and hundreds of numbers that you will be tackling. So to all those person in that sheet that you're calling, you are a stranger. So how do you actually break the nutshell of a stranger? Again, a very strong introduction. Hi there, Mr. Z. Good morning to you. This is KeeShend from Subang Jaya. Keep it very short and immediately move into your query. Because for sub-sale, they already know what are you calling for, and they probably got about 10 other calls from different people. So you want to keep it engaging, you want to keep it interesting. Compared to project is different because they've already sent to you this specific query. So that is specifically allocated for you, but not in cold call, guys. Sorry, not in sub-sale, guys. So in sub-sale, you are tackling absolute stranger. So immediately move into the query, because if you take too long on the phone, they're not going to be engaging. It will be very difficult. So what you can briefly navigate yourself towards is, I believe you're the owner for a unit at Residence Z, and I was wondering if you're looking to rent out your unit. I have a number of tenants looking to rent. Very simple. Make a point. If you're trying to collect a listing, just straight make a point. They will know that, okay, somebody is calling to offer me help. Again, you're the solution provider. Angle yourself towards that. If they say yes, number 3 step on my slide, that's great news. My client are looking to move in on 15 June. Hence, they would like to view the unit as soon as possible. Just wondering if you could share with me some pictures first for me to propose to my client. So what I'm trying to sell here is urgency. Okay. When you sell urgency, you top yourself against other people who might have called that particular person already. So when you sell urgency, anyone who's picking up the phone wants a fast deal. They want the deal that can come to them the soonest. So here, when you sell urgency, the owner will be more likely towards engaging with you, because you are the first person who can bring them the best deal ever. And of course, last but not least, after call, seal an appointment, guys. This is the main objective of your 4 to 5 minutes call. Convey the info to clients, arrange for a viewing session, and seal the deal. So your call is basically towards aligning yourself to the main objective in terms of arranging for a viewing session and sealing the deal in terms of cold call. All right. So of course, we're coming almost to the end. So if you can see, this is more of a value-based character-based information that I'll be giving you out lah. So of course, in making cold calls, it's very important for you to equip yourself first. Because if we don't equip ourselves, how to make a successful cold call, guys? And when I say equip, when you're picking up the phone, you're going into a turf. So in the turf, you have a lot of competitions. And in order to eliminate your competition, you want to be best. So in terms of being the best, always equip yourself with consistency. Be consistent in making calls. Ensure to achieve daily target of 20 solid calls a day or spending 20 solid hours a week. This is more angled towards a project perspective lah. When I say 20 solid calls a day or spending 20 solid hours a week, brings more of a dynamic of projects. But of course, I understand when it comes to sub-sale, guys, you have a master list in front of you, you have 300, 400, 500, 600 numbers. You can't be short selling yourself in saying that you're only going to make about 20 calls a day. It's different. You need to hit the numbers. You need to hit sufficient numbers. You need to hit the wall hard in order for you to penetrate through. So when I say be consistent with your numbers. Always know how many you are going to call every day and hit the numbers, because only when you consistently hit the numbers, you will see results. And this has been evident even in our projects team, our sub-sale team, our new joined members. Some people might know Sophia, Chive, many other people who emphasize on the value of consistency, and they actually can produce results. So here, consistency is something to be put quite hard on everyone lah. Be consistent, guys. Don't give up. Keep making the calls, hit the numbers, and you will come to a result. Okay. Enthusiasm, which comes to the second one in the green color box. Being enthusiastic about your product and service is already 25% battle won. Why I say that is, if you are not excited about your product, if you are not excited about your service, how to sell, guys? You know, you need to be enthusiastic about your own product and services first. Do not underestimate the power of voice. If you can see on my slide, your voice, your tone, your energy, your words, your highs and lows, everything plays a part in getting the client to say yes to you. So lift up the energy. Always have a good energy when you're making a call, so that everyone has, the person who engages with a higher energy has no other choice but to engage back with them. That is when you take charge. So always take charge, keep the energy up. And of course, in the purple box, ask questions. Most cold calls become very dry and less interesting without interaction. So in terms of interaction, you always want to make sure that they are on the same page with you. When you give them a good deal, that you know that it is good deal, ask them back, sir, madam, this sounds like a good deal, right? And maybe when you're trying to look into a area that you're trying to understand whether they are familiar or not, throw back the question to them. It's not wrong at all to throw back a question to your client when you're speaking in a phone call. So ask them, are you familiar with the area? Sir, madam, I assume you have a big family. Is this for your family usage, or are you looking towards achieving a certain profit margin over the years? Then you will know whether they are looking towards a family usage or investment. So these are some things that you can angle your questions towards so that they are more engaging lah. Yeah, you don't want to be losing them, you know, within the 2 or 3 minutes. When you're more engaging, they will keep engaging with you. All right. So last but not least, I've also mentioned this earlier. Again, I would like to emphasize this. Be the problem solver. You are the solution provider. Always give them the right solution. And when they know that you can solve their problem, trust me, they will come to you. No matter what, whether project number 1, project number 2, if it's their first purchase or second purchase, they will come to you because they know you are the person to provide them a solution. All right. So moving on a little bit more here, this is a little bit subjective in a sense that it takes a little bit research also. So based on my reading, based on my opinion, the best day to call and the best time to call is any day and any time. Why I'm saying this is because, guys, you may see a lot of research. You may see a lot of write-up saying that, okay, this particular time is best to call, this particular day is the best day to call, and they have a lot of justification towards it as well. I am not shooting down any justification because all those are valid. However, when you deal with people, based on my experience, you deal with different demographics of people, in a sense that you deal with a lot of different people from different race, different age, different educational background, different occupational background. So this carries a lot of differentiation. Okay, so when I say differentiation, yes, I put there very clearly that any day is a good day to call and any time is a good day to call. But this depends on the demographics of the people that you are dealing with. Okay, out of a lot of leads that you may have, you cannot decide what is the best day and best time to call unless you try it out. Okay, unless you try it out. So in terms of a sub sale, when you have a master list, of course, a general thought is that so if you can see down there, best day to call. Some research shows that Wednesday and Thursday remains the best day of the week to call prospects. And this is based on Call Hippo Survey 2020. It's quite a recent survey that was done also. It's more of a US-based survey whereby they actually mentioned that Wednesday and Thursday is the best day to call. After all, people are usually gearing up for the weekend on Friday and uninterested in starting a relationship with a salesperson. Okay, here I would like to stop for a while because in saying that, it can be also contradictory because it depends on the person that you are speaking to. The person that you're speaking to might come from a different demographic. They might be business owners. They might be people who are generating income in different ways compared to a normal office hours. So these are the people that you can only determine when you call them. So that's why there's no right time or right day to call. Whenever you receive your leads, that is exactly the time for you to call. In terms of project, when you receive your leads, the first 2 hours is the best to call. So quite straightforward. In terms of master list, people doing sub-sale, you want to angle them towards the master list that you have so that you break it down very clearly, you call them at the right time, you call them the right day, and get the right results that you're looking for. So there, by middle of the week, people have had enough to settle into their working week and take care of pressing matters without your call feeling like an interruption. So that justifies why the US-based research by Call Hippo Survey 2020 suggests that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday might be a suitable time for you to call because they'll be more inclined towards absorbing information from you. Ultimately, guys, it's a trial and error thing. You need to try first, then you'll be able to know, because this comes as secondary. Primarily is what I mentioned earlier. Before you call, before you pick up the phone also, equip yourself with the right attitude, equip yourself with the right information. Only then a call can be successful. Timing is a secondary element that you look at when you have abundance of number and leads for you to call. But what is most important, can you deliver the right value during a 2 or 3 minutes call? That is the art. So that is what I'm trying to share here, and that's the point I'm trying to make here. All right. And also moving into timing. What is the best time to call? Anytime is a good time to call. Sorry, there's a little bit typo error there. The same survey suggests that 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. as well as 11 a.m. and 12 p.m. is the right time to call. 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. makes sense because in a general outset, people are always gearing up towards completing their day already lah. 4 to 5, you feel good. 5 p.m., you're going to log out of office. I'm going to go home. I'm going to do what I like. So your mind is more active in a sense that, okay, I'm going to be doing something I like after this. Okay. 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. mostly are people who are gearing up towards lunchtime. So you're thinking about where to eat. I'm going to have some space, going to have a chat with few friends. You feel good. So these are the time that you may be more inclined towards allocating 2 or 3 minutes lah, for somebody who's going to call you. You might have the interest deep down your heart in order for you to give that allocation. So this survey suggests that, but again, you're dealing with different demographics of people. So trial and error comes as an ultimate effort. Only when you do trial and error, guys, you will know what is more suitable for you. Okay, so this is 2 different distinction that I would like to give you lah. When somebody asks you, hey, what's the best time to call? Hey, what's the best day to call? Anytime, guys. Anytime. Anytime is the best. Okay? Do a trial and error, identify and determine what is best for you. All right? So just to move a little bit more further, just a quote before I end this. Customers will always want to talk to you if they believe you can solve their problem. A very simple dynamics of thoughts, guys. Why people go to 7-Eleven? Why people go to KK Mart? Because they need something, correct? Why people find for some services? Because they need something. Whenever people come to you, they're engaging with you because they need something. So when you can give them the something, that brings out a lot of value for you, and that's exactly the part that you want to get on in order for you to achieve your closing. So that's exactly what I'm trying to make a point. Always position yourself as a solution provider, solve their problem, and they will stick with you over time, guys. First property purchase, if you manage to tackle them well. Second property is yours, third property is yours, fourth property is yours. Consistency, and always be the solution provider. And guys, before I end this, I just would like to let everybody know it's an absolute privilege for me to share a little bit information from what I know. This is KeeShend, and if you are looking for new properties in Klang Valley, please do contact me. I also have a Instagram page which is called Kentroprop. Please search for Kentroprop. Like the page is always very informative in the sense that we update a lot of educational elements into it. So always follow the page. Appreciate the support from everybody here. So throwing back to Terence.
Okay, thank you very much, KeeShend. We have a Q&A session now. So do you guys have any questions? Please leave at the chat box. KeeShend, we have questions for you.
Yes, please.
Right. Yeah, from John Lai, actually, he was asking, do you have a script for commercial or industrial property?
Okay. Okay, honestly, to answer the question, I don't have it at the moment. Something written down, I don't have it. But just to give you a little bit dynamics, Mr. John Lai, I think very, very brief that I can prepare this for you, because from what I mentioned earlier, your cold call is basically you solving somebody's problem. So when you have the information, when you have the right flow of the call that you're going to be making, it becomes very simple. Maybe I can keep in touch with you if you need any assistance from me in order for me to prepare a script for commercial and industrial property. It's an absolute privilege. Please do keep in touch with me. John Lai, I will provide you with this if you need this. Yep.
Okay, we have questions from your guests as well. What if we are trying to get the listings and they ask for tenant profile first, but I don't have any at the moment because I just started farming?
Okay, so in terms of rental, this one, because you're looking at tenant profile, so I can assume that it's more towards rental. When you are farming, it's very important for you to let them know that you have a database of people who are interested in the area that you are farming. It's not necessary for you to throw out the exact tenant profile, but if you're approaching someone with a database, tell them, convince them that you have the tenant, buy a little bit more time because you want to pick up the listing first. So whatever is it, you can buy a little bit more time in saying that your client is looking to move in a little bit more later. And in the meantime, it's not right for you to lie to them in terms of tenant profile, but you can maybe give them a very brief through to your owners in terms of when might they be moving in, how soon can you actually lock down a tenancy for them. Not necessarily that you have to say that I have an existing tenant. No, you can even give them assurance that, hey, I can actually get you a number of tenants within this specific period of time because of the strong database that I have. So yeah, this is something that I would like to share. Yogesh, I hope this helped.
Yeah, thanks, KeeShend. To add on that, I will normally highlight that I'm the area specialist or the condo specialist to give some credibility there. Okay, next question from J. Lo. Are we in violation of PDBTA when we call from the master list?
Okay, when you call from the master list, yes, a lot of people, there's ways for you to actually obtain master list legally these days, but of course you may get a lot of questions and obstruction from people when you make call like, hey, how you get my personal number and so forth. But it always angles towards how you can be the solution provider for them. It's okay if they don't want to engage you, but you can always be very upfront and open towards telling them that, sir, madam, database is available at the moment in the market. So what we are trying to do is we want to give you a solution in tackling your issues. If they are not inclined towards that, it's okay. But in terms of answering your question, of course, people might feel infringed of their personal data, but then you need to angle your intention correctly. Only when you don't angle your intention correctly, people feel insecure because they feel like, wow, anyone can get my information. Yeah. So here you need to make it very clearly that you are getting the information from a very reliable source, and it is not open to the public. Your intention is to provide a solution, and that's exactly what you are making the call for, not anything in terms of infringing personal data and so forth. Yeah. If you like to add that as well, Terence.
Yeah. There's other questions from WK. How are you going to answer when you have been asked how you get the numbers and the property?
Okay, in terms of getting property, I think you would have already engaged with the owner, or you've already engaged with the owner itself lah. So coming back to the first question, if they ask how you get the number, again, you can tell that there are a lot of database available from the developers, from real estate boards out there in the market. Of course, you can't reveal things like you buy master lease and so forth, but it's more towards angling it in a sense that you got it legitly, in a sense that it is available in the eyes of developers and so forth, and we can get those numbers with the intention to provide them a solution that they are looking for. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, KeeShend. I think it's the same question from Ken Liang also, right? And then your guest was asking what to respond when they say you call me back when you have tenant. I think this is direct to the owners lah.
Brilliant. That's actually very good news, because the owner is saying that call me back when you have tenant, in the sense that they are ready to engage with you. So what is most important is pick up the listing. Tell them that, okay, sir, I actually have very suitable tenants looking at this, but I need to see the unit. I need some pictures in order for me to make solid proposal. And once I get this, I can come back to you with a result by end of the day. So again, sell urgency, give them assurance that you already have database of clients. Tell them that you don't have one, you don't have two, you probably have a lot, but you want to make sure that the unit that the owner is giving out is suitable for them. So it gives them the credibility. So in the sense that, wow, you are the project specialist, you are the person that conquers this area, so you are the person I need to deal with. If you can have a lot of database of people who's looking for rental in the particular area, that means you have farmed the area well, and you're the person that they want to be dealing with. So you need to give them that confidence. Then you will never lose them, guys. You will never lose them. Anyone in that area also will come to you one for sure. Yeah.
Okay, all right. I think that's about it. The questions are answered. Okay, so thank you very much everyone for joining our training today. Please also help us to fill up the feedback form. There's a QR code here. Do send us and give us your feedback so that we can improve for the futures of our trainings. All right. So thank you very much and stay tuned. Tomorrow we have training session. Is about closing technique. Yeah. Stay tuned. We will share our EDMs, okay, in the group as well. So thank you very much, everyone.
Absolute pleasure. Take care, guys.
Thanks, KeeShend.